Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 6th Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation's 100 People That Care event. I'm Wade Coombs. I'm the chair of the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation, and I have the pleasure of hosting tonight's event. And so far, this event has had 6 winners to date over the years. And you may be asking why there's 6, and that's because several years ago, we did 2 winners for when we had the Canada celebrations for the 150th, which we actually gave away $15,000. And so that has actually brought us up to over $55,000 to be granted out to great projects like the postpartum depression and the postpartum anxiety programs, the kits for kids for camps, the move-in bins for family children services and in out of the cold, the Harvest Bowl project, and Every Kid at Camp projects. All great and deserving projects. And tonight we are really excited to be giving away another $10,000 to a great project. So good luck to everybody involved tonight. For the 2nd year in a row now, we are operating virtually. So I would like to thank our presentation partner, Established Media, for bringing their expertise to our event and allowing us to bring this event virtually to everybody. Tonight, I have the pleasure of introducing our mayor. Unfortunately, he had to send his regrets. And so I just want to take a moment to thank Joe for all this great support that he gives to our organization and to our community. He is involved in just about everything, and I'm sure that's where he's off tonight doing another great thing in our community. So thank you, Joe, for all that you do. So, and tonight, back by popular demand, tonight's MC is another great supporter of our community, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mike Vecchio. Mike.
Thanks very much, Wade. Great to be here once again at the beautiful Queso Station in downtown St. Thomas. It's ominous being in this room when you're one of about 8 people in the entire room, but what great history we have here in St. Thomas. I'm happy to be back as co-MC with Wade for the event tonight for the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation, and looking forward to seeing who the big winner of the $10,000 tonight is. This should be interesting because I just recently had a security system installed in my house, and I said to the guy before he left, you really need to teach me exactly how to use this thing. And it's just one little box on the wall. The reason I'm worried tonight is I have paper, I have my phone, I have Wade's son Jackson in the background on the computer getting questions from our audience at home. There's a whole plethora of media and a really bright light in my face that keeps me not seeing anything. So this should be an interesting night, but I'm looking forward to it. First of all, the big news this year, and if you're sitting at home, get off your hands and give yourselves a big round of applause because we have exceeded the $10,000 goal. That is fantastic news. Slight spattering of applause from around the room. That's great. It is good. There we go. In the times that we've had in the last couple of years, that's fantastic to see that support still come from the community. I am now looking at a sun on this paper. I need to stop looking directly into the light. Anyway, any further donations over the $10,000 will go into the Community Foundation's Greatest Needs Fund. I seriously can't read my paper right now. We are going to hear from presentations from the 3 charities tonight. One will be virtual, so that'll be interesting. We'll try to figure that out. They are going to address the local community's greatest needs as well. And the audience at home, this is really important. If you have any questions, you can go onto the YouTube channel, the Established Media YouTube channel, and you can present questions. And my friend Jackson and I back here will try to gather those up, and we'll ask those of the charities that are here tonight. If you have donated to the fund tonight, you should have received an email already. If you haven't received an email, this is really, really important. You can call Kelly. She's down in the office waiting to take any technical difficulty calls. She's 519-637-8230. 519-637-8230 if you haven't got the email to vote yet. It's pretty straightforward. I looked at it on my phone, and if I can do it, you can do it too. So you should have received that in your email by ballot earlier. Finally, when the presentations are done, please vote immediately when they're finished. It's one vote per donation, and then we'll tally up the votes and declare the successful charity. Now, before we get to Wade to talk about last year's deserving winner, we should thank our title sponsor, IA Private Wealth, Ellen Loft, for her support, as well as the support from Gorman Rupp. So I'll send it back to Wade now, and he can tell us a little bit more about our presentations. Wade?
Perfect. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that. And just wanted to clarify, when you're in the YouTube video and you want to actually ask a question, go into the comments area. I believe, don't look for question and answer, look for comments. And as Mike said, my son Jackson is back there monitoring the comment channel. So get those questions in and that'll be great. Before we get started with the presentations tonight, I'd like to take a minute to look back to last year's winner. So please welcome with me the Director of Services and Community Development at the YWCA, Lindsay Rice.
Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay Rice, Executive Director of the YWCA St. Thomas Elgin, and the YWCA is so grateful to the 100 People Who Care and the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation. As last year's recipient, we were able to successfully launch our new Youth Independence Program. Knowing that the absence of life skills is a contributing factor to homelessness and housing insecurity, this program could not have come at a better time, as our community, like many others across Canada, is struggling with a housing crisis. During the last year, we offered a hybrid program model with in-person and virtual sessions for youth ages 16 to 24 years of age. This curriculum-based model focused on teaching critical life skills, improving self-esteem, increasing motivation, and building resilience in youth. Participant feedback was positive across the board, and we saw youth re-engaging with school, looking for employment opportunities, and having a greater sense of self-accomplishment. One of our participants was so engaged that she asked to run a full session on her own with staff guidance, giving opportunity for peer-to-peer learning and leadership development. That was pretty cool. With the ability to launch this pilot project, we were able to showcase the impact and positive outcomes and leverage additional funding to build sustainability, a huge win. In closing, I would like to share a brief testimonial from one of our past participants. She says, "I've had a great experience. I enjoyed the social connections through the pandemic and meeting new people. It was great getting to learn from each other's experiences. I definitely learned some new ways to tackle problems and have some new tools. The Youth Independence Program was great practice before going back to school and being in a classroom setting again." Anyways, thank you again, and all the best presenters tonight. And again, thank you to St. Thomas Elgin contributors. We truly have a very caring community. Thanks.
Lindsay, for that, and a very, very deserving project, and I'm glad they had amazing results given all the challenges I know that they faced in the past year. So congratulations again. So it is time for the presentations. We'll be having 3 presentations, as Mike mentioned earlier. And our first presentation will be done by Endwell. For over 45 years, Endwell has provided hope and homes to some of the most marginalized members of our society, those who struggle with mental illness, physical disabilities, and addictions. Most tenants live on less than $14,000 a year. Many have experienced homelessness, and many have spent time in psychiatric hospitals due to mental illness. Endwell brings a unique blend of competencies and strategies together. Staff expertise ranges from development planners to social workers, from facility managers to nurses. They embrace innovative technologies that improve quality of life while respecting the planet and successfully connect private and public funding to build housing that is financially and environmentally sustainable. Endwell's presentation tonight will be presented by Julie Ryan. So please welcome with me, Julie Ryan.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just need to move to the beginning of the presentation. There we go. And turn it into presentation. Not seeing the There it is. Thank you. It's nice to get some. Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for the technical help. Okay. Hello, I'm Julie Ryan. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator with Indwell. And Indwell is a Christian charity. We build affordable housing communities for people seeking health, wellness, and belonging. And our work is really rooted in our values. We value the inherent dignity of all people. And we walk beside our tenants with love and with hope. Many of our tenants come to us at a time, a very low point in their lives, and we walk together with them to share our hope with them, that they can transform their lives, and to share our hope with the community that we can end homelessness. We exist to provide hope and homes for all. Many of our tenants have been marginalized, often for race, sexual orientation, gender identity. It's important to note that we welcome everyone to participate in our programs and live with us. So Indwell has over 700 tenants in 5 communities: St. Thomas, London, Hamilton, Woodstock, and Simcoe, and we're expanding into 3 others. In fact, our recent strategic plan shows that we will double our total tenants supported in the next 4 years. So we're growing very rapidly, but also very sustainably. We have started in Hamilton 45 years ago as one couple's response to the increase in homelessness following the closing of the psychiatric hospitals. And since that time have grown quite a bit. So the 3 buildings that you see on your screen are a good representation of some of the programs that we have. The biggest one you see there is a new build in Hamilton. Our resource center, our headquarters, is on the main floor, and supportive housing up on top. The one on the upper right is Harvey Loft. It's an old textile factory in Woodstock, and we transformed that into 80 units. It's probably my favorite building. It's really beautiful inside. The one on the lower right is in it's in Simcoe, and it's a former Sunday school building that we converted. So what is housing with supports? Really what that means is that our tenants are able to live independently. Their apartments are full apartments, but we have staff on site who support our tenants with social work, connecting them to resources in the community, with food security, often offering 1 meal a day for our tenants, life skills training, recreational opportunities, addiction support. We like to create what we call knowable communities, where people can feel like they belong, feel like they are contributing. So Indwell came to London at the invitation of the city of St. Thomas, who's been tremendously supportive to us, and other social service organizations. And we were able to put together a regional plan that sees over 100 units created in 3 programs over the next 3 years. So we will offer varying levels of support, and we're trying something that is new to us here in St. Thomas, the first time that we've opened a specialized program, and that's the one you see on your screen here. It's a higher staff levels of support than what we normally have, and it is the only program where the stay is not a permanent housing. It's meant to be a transitional situation for folks. So It opened in the fall of 2021, so just a few months ago, and there are 15 units, so we're supporting 15 people, and every person that's living with us has come directly from living on the streets, unsheltered, anywhere from 1 year to 8 years of living homeless. So it's quite a challenge, and we're excited to be working with our tenants as they begin to transform their lives. Two other projects have been identified. The first is at 16 Queen Street. It'll be 45 units of, and we call enhanced support. So pretty high staff levels there as well. We'll also include a fire hall, St. Thomas Fire Hall, and we're expecting to open that in 2023. We held a groundbreaking late this in September, but the actual ground will be broken within the next few weeks as we get our final paperwork in place. And the next building that we will create is going to be on Ross Street at Center. It's in the early planning stages and will be 45 to 60 units. So our request to you tonight is to support the kitchen at the 16 Queen Street building. Now, all of you probably spend a lot of time in your kitchen. It's a great center of our homes, and it's a great place in our Indwell programs as well. I love this picture. This is from our Woodstock building, and it shows tenants and staff building or baking muffins, which pre-COVID they did every other week, and donated them to the school program in Woodstock, 200 muffins. And so it allows us to teach food security skills and as well as make meals for our tenants who receive meals. So at the Ross Street, or at the Queen Street project, we will not only make meals for the tenants that are living there, but we will make meals for the Railway City Lofts program as well, and bring them over to that building. So it'll be a really important part of our program, and so we hope that you will support this request. So just want to thank you for the opportunity tonight. And is this when we answer questions now?
I think this is when we can answer questions right now. I think that's an absolutely great idea, Julie. Thanks very much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
It's great projects that you have going on around the city of St. Thomas. I've heard about them from Mayor Preston for quite some time now, so it's really exciting. I just realized you're 19 feet away from me. I'm going to go ahead and take that right off there.
There we go.
Show my pretty white beard. Okay, so do we have any questions on there officially? Nothing yet, but I have some questions for you.
Okay,
just
great.
a couple, and don't worry, they're lob balls. It's okay. One thing I noticed in your presentation, you talked about a knowable community. Can you expand on what a knowable community means?
Absolutely. So many of our tenants have lived in dangerous spaces. They've lived in substandard housing where there are often people in and out of the building, and it makes for a very uneasy and unsafe situation. So we like to keep our community small so that people know who is supposed to be there and who isn't supposed to be there. They can get to know their neighbors. And really what we find through our programs is that people really become supports for each other. When you have shared experiences and histories, you can support each other, and we see that deep friendships being built amongst our tenants.
That's wonderful. And as far as the comment you made about the 8-year person that was homeless for 8 years, and you were able to get them into an apartment, or some people up to 8 years, what is the reaction of folks like that when they do finally get a nice little apartment to themselves and are able to make friends and relay experiences? What's that like, and as part of your experience day to day?
Well, it really varies. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine being unsheltered and feeling unsafe, and then being able to shut the door and lock it and know that I'm in a safe space. So it varies. Some people, we often talk about a honeymoon phase for folks. They're elated, and then to finally be in a safe place where they can call home. And then sometimes their problems that have been part of their lives in the past kind of resurface. So it really does vary.
Sure.
Yeah.
But at least they get that chance, right, to be sheltered.
That's right. And there's staff on site for them to process some of those feelings that they're dealing with.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, anything official? Nothing else official. So we'll leave it at that. Julie, thanks very much for your presentation.
Great. Thank you very much.
Julie from Indwell. I'm going to bring back Mr. Wade Coombs, chair of the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation, to introduce your next charity.
Fantastic job. Thank you very much, Julie, for that great presentation. And I got my mask out there for a second there too. All right, so we, if there is questions that you do have for Julie and you didn't get them in time, feel free to put them in now, and we'll try to get back to them at the end of the event. So, just 1 second.
Reiterate how to find comments, how to ask a question and find it.
Okay, so to do the comments or the question and answers on the YouTube channel for the event that you should be watching, you'll go into the actual comments area and you can put your question into that comment box. And they'll pop right up on the screen that we have over on the side here, and we can get those comments put into the system or get them presented out to the audience here. Okay, so on to our second presentation. Our second presentation is going to be done by Strong Start Charitable Organization, and they are going to be actually presenting to us virtually tonight. And so while that's getting set up there, I'm going to do a little introduction here. So since its inception in 2001, Strong Start has helped nearly 50,000 young children learn to read. The flagship program, Letters, Sounds, and Words, continues to expand and currently runs in 384 schools across Ontario in partnership with 10 school boards. Strong Start maintains best practices by consulting with education partners and researching current trends in education and healthy childhood development. Programs are evidence-informed and supported by work from organizations like the Ontario Institute for the Study of Education, the University of Toronto, and the Centre on the Developing Child at Harvard University. They are part of the Early Literacy Matters Roundtable with Children Literacy Children's Foundation. My goodness, I can work on my reading skills too here. Their resources have been developed by educators who specialize in early literacy. Their games and activities are highly adapted for children ages 3 to 9 years of age. The resources are widely circulated and available to all free of charge. So far, over 8,000 families have benefited from this program. And as you know, in most families, there's lots of kids being involved, so that is a lot of people that have been supported. So tonight's Strong Start Charitable Organization presentation will be presented to us by Laura Scott. So welcome with me, Laura Scott.
Thanks very much. If I can just confirm that you can see my PowerPoint presentation. You can see this slide. Well, thanks very much for inviting Strong Start to this meeting today. It's a real privilege to speak with the community and the wider community in Elgin St. Thomas. Strong Start has been around for 20 years. We started in Waterloo, Ontario, and have grown to now include 7 regions and 9 school boards across Ontario. We piloted our first program in Elgin St. Thomas in 2018. And that pilot was such a success that we've since grown, and it is part of our catchment for Strong Start as a provincial charity. So our vision at Strong Start is quite simply, all children read. And that's something that we really can't take for granted, reading skills and the fact that all children have that fundamental human right to read and develop their literacy skills. You know, the idea that literacy is the ability to read and write is a narrow misinterpretation. According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, literacy is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and compute using printed and written materials associated with varying contexts. Think about what that means. Literally, literacy affects every aspect of one's life. So one's ability to read is not just in literature or words, but numbers that will affect science, math, and really every subject that a child may take in school. And if you think about for yourself, where would you be today if you couldn't read? Would you be able to take your driving exam, read a prescription, pay a hydro bill? Literacy skills are one of the strongest indicators of a child's future success in life. Low literacy levels intersect issues associated with poverty and the economy, security, health, and mental well-being. So Strong Start was founded on the principles of that literacy really opens the door for an individual and is an essential life skill. So we developed 3 primary programs that really cover all stages of early child development. First off, Baby Connections, which is for babies 6 months to 12 months of age. Then Get Ready for School, which is for children 3 to 5 years of age in a preschool program. And then Letters, Sounds, and Words, which is for children ages 5 to 9, and it is an in-school program. And that's a program we'll be discussing this evening, as that is the program that is available in your community specifically. When we think of literacy and why it matters, as I've mentioned, it really intersects all issues associated with poverty, well-being, health, and economic security. According to one senior economist with the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, higher literacy can boost the economic and financial success of individuals and the economy as a whole. It can reduce poverty, improve health, lift community engagement, and lead to a higher standard of living. It is hard to identify any other single issue that can have such a large payoff to individuals, the community, economies, and society as a whole. Investment in literacy provides a huge return on investment. For every $1 that is invested today in early literacy, it produces $12 in future health, economic, and social costs. And yet, poor literacy, its impacts are really profound. You'll note here, 46% of adults at the lowest literacy levels live in low-income households. Individuals who are experiencing literacy challenges are 2.5 times more likely to experience unemployment. Canadians with the lowest levels of literacy are more than twice as likely to be in poor health. And of course, the criminal justice system, Correctional Services Canada reports that approximately 75% of offenders admitted to federal custody had an education level of less than grade 12. And it's interesting to note, too, that in Canada, individuals who may have graduated with literacy levels that are passable, if they don't have employment where those are exercised or on a regular basis, they lose those literacy levels. So it's not like riding a bike where you can just pick it up again. We can lose it if we don't practice it daily. So that's why developing a love of reading is also an important facet of what we do at Strong Start. Research consistently shows that the optimal window for learning to read is from kindergarten to grade 3. However, 1 in 4 Canadian children enter grade 1 significantly behind other children in their literacy development. Without support and intervention, struggling readers will fall further and further behind as they progress through school. 75% of children who are struggling by the end of grade 3 will never catch up. Importantly, disadvantaged children are significantly more likely to have difficulties with reading. It's interesting to note that in the community of Elgin St. Thomas, more students are considered at risk of poor education outcomes when compared to the provincial average. And the provincial average isn't that great either. In fact, more students in this community fall below the grade 6 Education Quality and Accountability Office reading assessment and the grade 10 Ontario Secondary School literacy test. But these numbers can be improved if we invest in young children early. This, of course, would have a high bearing on high school completion rates, as well as post-secondary education, career attainment, and economic security for this community. Young people in this community are falling behind. So that's why our program, Letter, Sounds, and Words, is so paramount to the success not only of children, but the community as a whole. Our program, Letter, Sounds, and Words, is delivered in school, and it complements the work being done in the classroom. Children work one-on-one with a certified volunteer coach. And at Strong Start, we have over 3,000 volunteers who have contributed over 570,000 hours to our programs. Children will work for 60 to 90-minute sessions for approximately a 10-week period. The program has 4 strands, one on letters, another on the sounds that words will make, and building words, so children learn how to put them together and read them. Each child is enrolled into 2 to 3 strands, which target their identified areas of greatest need. So it can sort of be customized to the specific needs of each individual child. In the past, Letter, Sounds, and Words has been delivered in 7 schools in Elgin St. Thomas. This year, we plan on adding 3 new schools, and approximately 15 children per school would participate. It's supported by 70 volunteers, and that number is growing as we continue to deliver online volunteer coach training. And we back up all our programs with measurable results. Evaluation is an important component to our program and the success of our organization as a whole. And as such, we deliver on 95% of children consistently will improve in their literacy and reading skills after taking this Strong Start program. Now, the importance of this program has really been made greater because of the impacts of COVID-19 on the education system. School closures and inconsistent learning environments have really compounded the learning disparity in Ontario. New research indicates that we are on the verge of what some experts are calling a generational catastrophe. Authorities on the subject believe young children have been negatively impacted, falling behind an estimated 5 to 8 months in their learning and development. And for ourselves, our programs are now running in schools in different regions, and we're finding that this is really true. Children who are in grade 3, they can't even identify letters, let alone read, because of the impacts of that long absence from classroom instruction. And of course, this has an impact and bearing on their emotional and educational development as a whole. So with your support, you will help us grow our program in Elgin St. Thomas, adding those 3 additional schools. It costs us approximately $100 per child to participate in the program. Your support would help us cover our volunteer coach training and as well as the children's learning materials, over 75 games and activities that are part of the Strong Start program. So thank you so much for inviting us this evening, and I welcome your questions.
Are we good? All right. issue explanation there. If you would like to actually put a comment in and you can't find the comment box anywhere, you're most likely on the Established Media's live stream website. What you need to do in the video itself that's being presented, in the top right corner there, you'll see the little icon logo, and it'll actually say the 100 People That Care live stream. Just click right on that. That'll actually take you over to the YouTube website. And once you're on the YouTube website, you'll actually see the comments box. And if you're on a computer, it'll be on your right, kind of the screen. And if you're on your phone, I'm not exactly sure where it will pop up. But if you're on the YouTube site, you'll actually see the comments themselves. So with that, please, again, if you've got questions, put them into that comment area. And again, if you're on the Established Media website, at the top of the video itself, there's a word that says 100 People That Care live stream. Just click there and it will take you over. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Mike to read any questions. So with that,
Camera here. Oh, well.
take it away, Mike.
All right. See? Jackson yelling at me in the background. I've got papers and pens. Where's my flip phone? I want to go back to that. Okay, so I'm supposed to look into this. I don't see any questions coming up here nor on there. We did get one from Serge Lavoie on the last presentation. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But Laura, thank you very much for joining us. I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. I'm looking here. I'm doing my best. I'm 50 years old. I don't need to know this stuff anymore, do I? Anyway, is Laura able to hear me if we have any questions? Is she on there? Okay. Laura, I apologize for my chin in your screen, but one question I had here, first of all, there you are. Hey. Oh, there. Okay. And I've got a microphone too. You mentioned poverty, health, employment or unemployment, Laura, as well as justice and correction issues. Do you find that Strong Start is something that will help break that cycle?
Oh, absolutely. All research indicates that. And we measure the children who are in the program. We don't have a study that supports our program specifically, as though we have followed children from like 20 years ago to see where they are now, but all research from experts and as was mentioned, the University of Toronto that we work with, and with Harvard University, that early intervention has a direct impact on a child's success in life.
Okay. And one last question here for you, Laura, before we leave you, unless anything pops up in the meantime. When you were talking about St. Thomas's being one of the communities that really needs this support, how do you assess which communities do? Is that something that you look at before you decide where you'd like to set up your program?
Yeah, so we look at the market research on communities. So those statistics specifically were for Education Quality and Accountability Office. So we look at the communities and the measurements that they have in place and the research that is supporting their work and success of students in that area. So we go by the market research for a specific community.
Perfect. Okay.
And I noticed one question too in the chat, that the program is offered during school. And the thing that's great about that it's offered in school is that there's no barriers to families that, mom or dad has to leave work early to drive a child somewhere. It all happens in the school.
Perfect. And the schools are willing to work along with your program as well?
Yeah, they sign 3-year, each school and school board, they sign a 3-year contract with us, and that's ongoing.
Wonderful. All right. Well, good luck to you, Laura. Great presentation tonight. I'm going to turn it back over to my friend Wade. He's going to run over to there. Don't trip on any wires, buddy. All right. We'll ruin the whole program. Anyway. Okay. Thanks again, Laura.
We're good? All right. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Laura, for that great presentation. And I'm very pleased that we got our virtual barriers handled there. Let's see here. So for our next presentation and our final presentation, we have the Family YMCA of St. Thomas Elgin. The Family YMCA of St. Thomas Elgin has been part of this community for over 150 years, providing programming that has built capacity in individuals and contributed to a healthier community at large. Prior to COVID-19 pandemic, they served 4,200 members of the community with more than 22,000 visits to their center who access critical health and wellness programs offered by the Y each month. They have many community partners like United Home and Community Care, Big Brothers of St. Thomas, Community Living Elgin, and the Family and Children's Services, just to name a few. Please join with me in welcoming Julie Telfer and Clayton Lynch, who will be presenting for the Family YMCA of St. Thomas Elgin tonight. Julia and Clayton. I was saying Julie, sorry for my bad.
Yeah, hello, good evening. My name is Julia.
And I'm Clayton.
And we are lifeguards and swim instructors at the St. Thomas Family YMCA, and we love our jobs.
And we're here to present to you guys the Lifeguard U Youth Scholarship from the Family YMCA of St. Thomas Elgin. This scholarship would be a leadership and employment program that develops our community's next generation of aquatic leaders by reducing the barriers in place and providing opportunities to becoming a lifeguard or swim instructor in this post-pandemic world.
We've identified three main challenges here in our community and becoming a lifeguard. The first being the barriers to entry. If you are not a member of the YMCA or choose to take outside courses, it's over $1,100 in registration fees to get all of the necessary qualifications to become a lifeguard, as well as 100+ hours of training, studying, and perseverance just to obtain the qualifications. Another main challenge is youth employment and opportunity in our community. Quality youth employment can be difficult to find, especially during a pandemic, as well as a lack of post-pandemic opportunities for youth. I was very involved in the St. Thomas community before the pandemic in community theater, sports teams, other clubs, but since then, all of that has been removed from the lives of our youth, and this would provide an opportunity for a community in something so strong like the YMCA, as well as community safety as an identified challenge. There are lifeguard shortages everywhere. Anyone in aquatics can tell you that, and that impacts the safety of our community.
Just this, because they're shorter than I am. Might be a little better.
Thank you.
And here's our solution. We would look for the youth who need it the most, the ones who are less fortunate because of how much it costs to be a lifeguard. Over $1,000 and lots of your time. We would offer them the opportunities for employment and volunteering for their courses so that they can help get used to the workplace and see everything they need to see before they come to work with us. We would provide them with employment once the courses are done and offer them all the opportunities they can. We would be working on our leadership development with our YMCA team. We would provide opportunities in the YMCA and community for leadership, team building, training, fundraising, and help in all departments.
Here we've outlined our budget and how we would be using the funding. So the first one is exam fees to the Life Saving Society. You can see it was cut off a little bit in the formatting there, but that total would come to $2,429. So that's the cost to provide the certifications, as well as instructor wages coming out to about $5,500. That would pay for instructors to run these courses and provide mentorship to our participants. And then there are course manuals and resources required coming out just above $4,100. And this $10,000 or $10,000 would act as seed funding to work with community sponsors, and then those community sponsors would also provide budgets for future years. We're really committed to doing this more than once. This isn't a one-time go. We believe it would be super impactful for our community, and this would provide a seed to get something amazing going.
So here's our timeline plan. Come January 2022, the January coming, we would start our cohort 1 recruitment. We would look for the students who join, who would need it, and then me and Julia here would teach the courses at our YMCA to allow the kids to have somewhere close to home to be able to get all their certifications. We would get all the kids their volunteer opportunities so that they could experience our workplace before they even have the job, see the place, get to know the people, and see the family we have there. And then we would come July 22, we'd hopefully start the second phase of this and get another cohort going in order to keep it going and keep it all rolling.
Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the outcomes of this program and how impactful it would be for the St. Thomas Y family, as well as St. Thomas community as a whole.
So I'm going to be talking from the view as a lifeguard. We always have certain duties and we always have to keep up to a certain physical standard to ensure we can fulfill all those duties and keep up to our responsibilities. We make sure to stay active to keep up with that physical standard, to always ensure our job can be done properly. As a lifeguard, I've always had lots of responsibilities in the pool. My number one responsibility is always the people in the pool and on the pool deck. Our YMCA family looks after the people and we try to get to know them. We make sure that we know everything we should know to be ready for anything that could happen. From that, each day, we talk to the community members and we get to know them and we get to see the amazing community of St. Thomas and make them friends with all of them.
As a swim instructor, there are a lot of things you learn. 3 main ones being organization, communication, and adaptability. This applies to so many things. Organization coming from paperwork, report cards, those are due very, very soon, as well as organizing your time when you're in the pool. Those 30 minutes go super, super fast, especially when you're having fun with the swimmers. Communication with teammates like Clayton when we're in the pool, not just verbal communication, but how else can I get my message across? Communicating to swimmers, what do I want them to learn? What do I want them to do? And that's definitely a challenge, but also a skill that will be applicable everywhere in our life, communicating to so many different people and learning different strategies of teaching and communication and leadership. The final skill I chose was adaptability, being able to move on the fly. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that anything can change in a moment, and the same goes for teaching a swimming lesson. There's so many things that could change, and it truly is amazing all the skills you can learn. The next outcome would be youth employment and volunteer opportunities for years to come. There would be constant volunteer positions throughout the certification process for the participants of the scholarship, as well as post-secondary opportunities. I know I'm moving away to university come the fall, and there's a pool pretty much everywhere, so I will have no difficulty finding a job in aquatics, as well as jobs at any age. If you become a lifeguard as a teenager, you can recertify anytime. One of our coworkers is 67 and still loving being a lifeguard.
Another one of our topics is improved aquatic safety in the community. With our more lifeguards, we can always have more people on the pool deck to have more knowledge. We'll always have more people ready in emergency to be able to stop whatever's happening and get the best case scenario going. The knowledge we have as lifeguards, it always sticks with us every day, never just goes away when we're outside of work. So if we're ever in a situation where we're like in the grocery store, in school, or anything like that, and we see somebody get hurt, we can always be there at the situation to help them and help the community. And all those lifeguards, they have that important first aid knowledge, and we can help teach it to the rest of the community to get that going everywhere so that everybody can be safer and we can all live a safer life.
Another outcome we've identified is improved experience for children in swimming lessons. Pre-COVID, we had up to 700 swimmers per session registered at the YMCA. That's a lot of kids in a pool. So by having more instructors, once we get back up to those numbers, they aren't those numbers now, we would be able to provide increased individual support as well as more knowledge through those volunteer opportunities throughout the duration of the program. Participants would be able to shadow other instructors and experience swimming lessons before they're kind of thrown right into it, providing a more individual experience for all swimmers.
Something we've always had at the YMCA is a really strong family. We always get along, and I've been in the YMCA since I got into high school. I'm in grade 13 now, so it's been a few years, but 2 years of that did get cut off by COVID. But that's what this is all about, rebuilding. In all of my time at the YMCA, there's been something special about the people I've worked with. I've always had a family with my coworkers, with the YMCA core values being the perfect example of how we treat each other, with honesty, respect, caring, and responsibility. I've always felt safe knowing there were people I could count on to have my back and my place of work. Obviously, people in the family have come and go, but it's always stayed that way, and we're always looking forward to welcoming new additions. And that's why the Lifeguard Youth Scholarship is such an amazing opportunity for all the youth of St. Thomas. We'd like to say thank you for having us here.
And are there any questions?
Why, yes, there are questions. In fact, great job, guys. But if you're ever short, I know Wade and I still have our Speedos back from 1987. They are red, and we're willing to throw them on if you're stuck. I think, Wade, you still have your lifeguard and first aid? We're good to go. Okay, so there we go.
Recertify it
So-
anytime.
All right. You don't want me in the pool in that thing, I can tell you that. So one quick question we have from Serge Lavoie out there in the internet land. For the YMCA, I apologize. For the YMCA, what is the size of each cohort, and what happens if you don't get the community sponsorship that you require?
The cohort sizes would be like just around 10, so not too many because we can't teach too many kids at once. And then what was the second half of that question, sorry?
What if you don't get the support, the community support tonight?
I believe we do have a few community sponsors who are very interested in this program.
Okay.
So we would continue looking for funding if we did not receive the seed programming tonight, because we are very dedicated to running this program regardless.
Perfect. All right. And for the record, I worked at the YMCA from when it was the High Street Complex from 1987 to 1991.
That's what Jared was
It was a great
telling
time.
us.
Yeah.
We should
It's a long time
definitely
ago.
come work with us. It's a fun time.
I've got some good High Street Y complex stories that I cannot tell on public programming. We'll tell that later. It is a great place to work, really. It was, even way back then when everything was made of marble. Anyway, and one from Paul Jenkins, who is the president and CEO of our St. Thomas District Chamber of Commerce. Paul is asking, are there any other communities offering such scholarships? And is there an opportunity for St. Thomas Elgin to lead in prioritizing this type of training?
I don't know anything about any other communities coming up with this. Because our boss Jared had this amazing idea, and we've been working on it with him, get all this support and funding.
Okay.
And we do really want to focus on it, but we don't know if we've heard of it from anywhere else.
I do know it can be difficult to find local qualifications. I've had to go elsewhere for most of my certifications, London and further. So by having these certifications local, it would bring the opportunity to be a lifeguard to more local youth. And as someone who's been in aquatics, swimming since I was, in the little baby classes, I think it's valuable and should definitely be available and more readily available to people who might not have access to it otherwise.
Well, I know all 5 of our kids have spent time on your pool deck there, and all have their badges and stickers and everything they needed all the way along too. So it's great. It's a great program. Do we have anything else?
I don't think so.
I think that's it for now. So thank you very much for your presentation. So now is the time.
Thank you for having me.
Now is the time that it is time to vote. So we're going to bring Wade back up here. Wade Coombs, chair of the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation, to keep things moving along.
Okay, so I actually wanted to say great job, Julie and Clayton, and I'm actually never actually worked at the Y, but I certainly have been there and been involved in the programs with my kids, and I've done the rocket ship to the moon and the wheels in the bus go round and round with my little kids in the pool. Always a fun time. So with that, was there any questions, Mike, that we had for the previous speakers at all?
I think we have everything covered so far, Wade. There's nothing that's popped up. But just for the record there, Jared, who was in the background, has replied to Paul Jenkins that it's a fairly unique program and it's a very novel to the region that's been in the London area. So shortage of lifeguards is an ongoing challenge for every community in our area. Hopefully that explains a little bit more. Thanks, Jared, for following up.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Jared, in the background there. Appreciate that. And fantastic job by all of our presenters tonight. It is time to vote. Mike, do you want to explain the voting process, or do you want me to?
As we mentioned before, everybody that is a donor in this program should have an email in their inbox right now that'll give you a link to vote now. If you do not have that email, you can call the foundation office quickly. I see Kelly's back there waiting to take the call, and I've lost the number, and we're going to find it on the very first page. Look at this. Look at this right there. No, it's not. It's on the second page, I think. No, it's not. 519-637-8230. I am terrible with this phone and technology. I really apologize. If anybody's throwing up at home right now, it's my fault. I'll just keep moving around. Anyway, so there's the voting process, Wade. If people could vote now, that would be great. And we're going to have a little break here. You carry on.
All right, so let's get those votes in, everybody. And while we are voting, we do have some great news and information to share with you all. So with that, what I would like to, again, vote, get those votes in. While you're voting, though, I'm going to call up here. So welcome with me, the chair of the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation, Board Chair Scott Willoughby. Scott.
Thank you, Wade. Good evening, friends of the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation and supporters of the 100 People Who Care. For those who you don't know me, my name is Scott Willoughby, and I am the chairman of the foundation. I would also like to thank our title sponsor for tonight's event, IA Private Wealth, Loft, and also thank Gorman Rupp for their support. I enjoyed all three of the presentations tonight. I hope you did as well. And they're all great causes, and it'll be interesting to see who you decide is deserving of the $10,000. You may have heard already that Terry Carroll is retiring this coming month. I would like to thank Terry for his years of dedicated leadership that have helped us grow to over $12 million in endowed funds. This allows us to give more to this great community than we ever have before. Thank you, Terry, and I hope that you enjoy a long and healthy retirement. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you our new Executive Director, Natasha Newby. Natasha brings 20 years of experience in the social sector, most recently with the Port Stanley Festival Theatre. Natasha?
Thank you for the introduction. Throughout the years, I've admired the great work Terry Carroll has done, and I am humbled to be the one to carry that forward as your new executive director. Everything he did, everything we do at the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation, we believe in. One of the things we do is support donors in creating legacies by matching their philanthropic interests with charitable organizations doing the good work that they would like to support, helping to invest in their own backyard, Elgin County, so that together we can build a healthier and more resilient community for today, tomorrow, and forever. Now that is something to be excited about and to be excited to be a part of. I look forward to working with you and so many more wonderful community builders, charities, volunteers, donors, stakeholders, and more. Tonight's event helps to highlight and educate the needs and good work being done to address these needs. Thank you to Engwell, Strong Start, and the YMCA for doing your part in building a stronger community. And thank you to those who donated. Your generosity will contribute to creating positive change. Thank you.
Actually, it's pretty good applause in here since there's only like 8 of us. So welcome, Natasha, and I look forward to working with you in the coming months ahead. And with that, I'm hoping everyone's out there getting their votes in. Again, if there's any issues, do you got the number again, Mike? 519-63... 8230. 637-8230.
519er.
If there's any issues there. We're going to basically, again, roll our sponsors there. We will be back to you very, very shortly. And we have some live entertainment being provided to us by Dennis Kelchuk. There we go. So thank you, Dennis, and get those votes in, and we'll be back to you very shortly. So enjoy the music.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's nice to be here at the Queso Station. It's usually filled with people when I've been here in the past, but this is quite nice. I just want to say congratulations to all the finalists, actually to everyone who was involved with this terrific event. And good luck to the winner. So I was sorry to hear the Lady Gaga canceled on you at the last minute, but I'm pleased to be able to fill in for a couple of songs while we count the important votes. So I've tried to pick a song or two that is kind of pertinent to the evening and the people involved. This song has a line in it. It says, "The forest will soon emerge from all this smoke," and I think that speaks to, well, kind of what a world has been in the past couple of years, but it speaks to the help that all these organizations and presenters can provide to individuals and to the community and cause rebirth. And the song is called Lifesaver. It's from her 4th studio album, and how convenient, because all the people involved here tonight are lifesavers. I don't know good news, so it takes the time. Don't know how to rap, so I'll just sing this song. This song. I'm not so young anymore, so I think about God and I wonder how long. But I've got a tiger in my tank. You threw a lifesaver just before my heart sank. It's Snap, crackle, pop, and taste the rainbow. We're all grown up now, so where do you want to go? Shake our heads and I wonder why there's no going back. Now it's already grown. It's grown. But open our eyes and try not to cry. The forest will soon emerge from all this smoke. I've got a tiger in my tank. You threw a lifesaver just before my heart sank. Snap, crackle, pop, and taste the rainbow. We're all grown up now, so where do you want to go? Every little boy wants to be a cowboy, and we were meant to be together since we were in the womb. The womb. Well, I was feeling kind of lost as I stood my ground, but then I felt your love from across the room. I've got a tiger in my tank. You threw a lifesaver just before my heart sank. Snap, crackle, pop, and taste the rainbow. We're all grown up now, so where do you want to go? 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 Hey, Rich! That was Lifesaver. So I guess we're getting closer to the, really close to the big exciting moment. Okay, so we doing one more or two? One more, two more? I like the specificity. 1 or 10. All right, then. I don't think it's possible to improve on an all-time classic. I don't do too many covers, but worked on a rearrangement of this one over the past couple of months. Just actually recorded it. As a singer-songwriter, the only thing we can hope is to try to make it our own. You'll know this one. Somewhere over the rainbow, we're in a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Oh, 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 oh. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles smell like lemon drops. I'm above the chimney tops, that's where You'll find me somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow. Why can't I someday wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, hop on the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me somewhere over the rainbow. We're high, and the dreams that you dare to why can't I? Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. It's out there somewhere over the rainbow. Thanks. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, this is another song about needing a shoulder every once in a while, needing some help from somebody, and somebody to take your hand. And I guess the biggest St. Thomas connection to this one is filmed the video in Pinafore Park, in one of the pavilions there. Please take my hand, hit me onto my feet. Don't wanna stay down here, don't wanna know defeat. I got things that I need to do, better to move on without you. Lift me up from the shadows into the light. Lift me up, say I won't leave my side, say I won't leave my side. Life can knock me down, but the look in my eyes when I get that look shouldn't be surprised. Got 9 lives like an old top hat, I can love you through all of them just like that. Lift me up from the shadows into the light. Lift me up, say I won't leave my side, say I won't leave my side. Days fly by, the world gets old. Time is short, oh so I'm told. Up every day to a sun's ray, your smiling face, the warm embrace lets me know that it's okay to wonder if when times get tough, if I can rise up, if I can be enough. Now the kids are grown,
changes that come with age. I wouldn't change a thing on life's incredible stage. It'll be a happy end when the curtains close, and until then, my love for you still grows. Still grows. Thank you very much. And I'm hoping that's taking us to the big exciting announcement. Awesome. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you very, very much, Dennis. That was fantastic. Actually, really enjoyed that. I'm sure it was better than last year, where I think we just had a giant pause in the events last year. So that filled that up beautifully. Thank you so very much. So we're down to about 60 seconds here. Any last minute votes, they got to come in now. We're just finishing tabulating everything. And I was wondering, could you run through the sponsors one more time there for us, Mike? Just so that...
Happy to talk about our sponsors tonight. No, seriously, I would be happy to talk about IA Capital Wealth. Correct? Sorry? Private Wealth, not Capital. IA Private Wealth, Ellen Loft, as well as support from Gorman Rupp of St. Thomas, which is fantastic. Events like this, foundations like this don't take place without community support. So we thank them for their generous support, and all the others that give throughout the year as well. That may have not been named tonight, but we thank you, and we're thinking of you, and we appreciate it. And I got to say, Dennis Kalachuk, wow. That made me cry. That made me think of my wife a little bit there. And you're saying the older we get, the kids are gone. I love you more every day. That was a beautiful song. That's an original? Yes. Yes, sir. Can we buy the CD somewhere? Is it available tonight? All 8 of us in here are going to buy Dennis's CD tonight. I can guarantee you that. That was wonderful. All right, I think we're set to go here. Wade's looking off in the distance for the giant check to come sideways through the door. I don't know. Is Terry stuck in the door right now? Hey, and by the way, Terry Carroll, what a great job he's done for the foundation as well over the years. Great St. Thomas supporter, not only here but known Terry for a long, long time. It's wonderful to see Natasha Newby come on. I saw the post a while ago, but until I read the fine print tonight, I didn't realize that she was taking over. So great choice. Whoever made that choice, I'm going to give you a double thumbs up on that one. And Natasha's over there. And Scott Willoughby, thank you very much for all your time that you spend working on this as well too. We've got 3 great presenters tonight. I know they're all very deserving. It's too bad we don't have $30,000 to give away, but we only have 10. And so that's what we're going to do. Wade?
Yeah, and I just want to again thank you, Mike, for coming out. You're such a great supporter of our community, and send our best to Karen as well. And I know she's busy working on our behalf, which is fantastic as well. And I'd like to also thank the Case Station for hosting our event, and Established Media for live streaming our event. Great job, guys. I'm a tech guy, and I still can't figure that stuff out. So great job by you all there. And again, our sponsors, thank you so much to A Private Wealth, Elaine Loft, and Gorman Rupp. And with that, we do have I do see the check has entered the room.
Check is here. Check
so
the room.
With that, I need to double check the winner. I don't want to make any crazy mistake here. All right, so the results are in. Thank you everybody at home for voting and being involved in this great event. And the winner of tonight's $10,000 prize is Endwell. So congratulations, Endwell. And hopefully we'll be baking some goodies very soon. Jump in there.
Okay. Very exciting.
Great job. Awesome. Thank you so very much. And with that, I thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, Mike.
Hey, Wade, thanks for having me once again this year. I really appreciate it. Hopefully next year, maybe we can have a few more people in the room, although the people that are here tonight are fantastic. Maybe we can fill this room a little bit more and get some great support again next year. So thanks everybody for watching tonight, for being part of this. Thanks for all our for our donors, for the $100 donors. Congratulations to Indwell. Congratulations to the other two charities that applied for this. Everybody did a great job. You're all well deserving, and you should be proud of yourselves. So thanks very much from me, Wade. Appreciate it. Everybody have a great night. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. We're good?